Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. And I just want to greet you this morning. Um, I took my glasses off. I can't see the bot. I can't see these. It's 12:15 on 8/29 of 2022, and I want to greet you all and hope that you are doing as well as possible under your present set of circumstances, whatever they may be. Um, Adjusting to the future. There's a lot of things that I thought that we were going to have to adjust to that we haven't yet, which is okay, I guess, because it is what it is. Like for example, I put in the text part, Planet X hasn't hit us yet. We haven't seen some of these other things, for example, some of these prognosticators who've been talking about how, the end is coming soon and Rhapsody, and the rapture is any day now and we're all going to die. And well, we're still here, we're still breathing. Although it may be toxic fumes that we're breathing, we're still breathing. And so, whatever these folks that have considered, that we're going to be in World War III, and now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of folks who are trying to put us into these situations. Okay, hey, Miss Pearl. But the idea, though, that it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, there are things that we were told was going to happen. Where everything's going to, be so bad. We're all going to be starving this summer. And this summer's almost over. Okay. And I've not heard of people starving yet. Because in March they were saying how bad it was going to be and how we're all going to be starving by now. And we've had to make some concessions and adjustments to our lifestyles, but I'm hoping that there aren't those of us who are starving. I know there are homeless people. I know there are hungry people, but the famine and everything that they had prognosticated to us several months ago has not transpired the way they said. Okay, I'm just saying. Yes, it's bad. Yes, there are things that we're missing. Yes, there are still deliveries and things not being made on time and so forth. But the thing is that we have adjusted. We have adjusted our lifestyles. If there's no mustard on the shelf and it's on my shopping list, and I go to two or three stores and there's no mustard, I just say, well, I'm not going to have any mustard. Um, you know, which happened a few months ago. I was like, what happened to the mustard? In my local store. It was interesting, that there was no mustard. So what do you do if that happens? Well, you go without mustard. You just go, well, dadgummit, I got no mustard for my sandwiches. Okay. So it didn't kill me, to go without mustard. And I found some back on the shelf that was just plain old yellow mustard, not my special kind that I like. But the fact is that we made it through it. It's almost September. And there were supposed to have been so many things that happened during the summer that ain't happened. So they tried to put fear into us for those folks who got fearful of, all of the famine and everything. And of course now I'm stocked up with food. I got stuff. I'm not going to go hungry for a while. because I've been, preparing for stuff for years, long before it was fashionable. And so, and I need to rotate some of my stock too, by the way. But to the point though, we have adjusted from whatever was supposed to have been our future, period, just our future, has not transpired the way some folks have prognosticated. So it's like another channel that I monitor. It's like, oh, alarming, 7 bell alarm. If you don't do this right away, that by tomorrow this is going to happen to you. And these folks, have they not figured it out yet after all this time that this is nonsense what they keep putting out there? I mean, everything is warning and look at this and be scared and okay. Um, Personally, I'm scared every time this monitor gets turned off to my heart monitor machine that I'm on for the next 20 days or 19 days now or something, whatever it is. Um, I'm worried about taking all these damn medicines. Hey, Joe, how are you? And Susie Q, how are you? So, to update myself in my heart attack issues, I have 10 new medicines that I must take. Well, I don't have to take them. That's one of my quandaries that for my future, I must make adjustments. Now, I'm in talking with friends over the last couple of weeks. It's been a month since I've been out of the hospital. Good, Joe. I'm glad you're well, honestly. So I'm looking at all these meds and going, there some of them are upsetting my stomach. Some of them are making me feel this way. And one of the reasons I haven't been doing any videos is because I'm having difficulty, um, dealing with how these medications are making me feel. And I'm trying to figure it out. My head is kind of loopy at times, and I've been very tired. I've had issues with trying to breathe. And, so it's like this new paradigm for myself is what is my future? Should I take my medicines or should I trust these doctors or should I tell them all to go to hell and go back to what I was doing before? Because I didn't trust these folks and I didn't trust the medications. And now that I've had heart attacks and I'm on right now, I'm on a monitor, uh, my little thing under my t-shirt here. Um, and so I've got to make adjustments to what my future is. Do I keep taking these medications? How do I take them? What do do I question the doctors and are they giving me all these medications? Or are they really necessary for my health? Well, when I was in the hospital and having heart attacks, I was like, you got to trust somebody. And, so at almost 70, next month, I'll really soon, like in 20 some days or 30 days or whatever. Anyway, so adjustments to the future. Well, I got to make adjustments to make sure I'm still breathing tomorrow. I'm making adjustments in that with my medications, I really do want to be here tomorrow. I really do want to be able to continue to live and to do things. But my health conditions have um, altered what I thought my future was going to be. So all of us are making adjustments for future events. And it's around the 20 mark, and I've been wanting to do a 20 with y'all. So I know I'm not supposed to. So, but other folks out in the universe, with folks that I converse with and friends and family and neighbors, there are folks who are having some really severe issues right now. Uh, Tomorrow makes 2 weeks ago, my first wife passed away from having an aneurysm that gave her a stroke, and it wiped her out. So folks have to make adjustments. They weren't thinking that grandma was going to die. I wasn't, aware that her situation was that bad. My situation is more serious than just, oh, well, don't worry about it, Dave. You'll be okay. No, but this was some serious business. And so future events and what you plan on and what you think you're going to do and what you want to do is going to have to be adjusted. So there are folks out there who are, you got to adjust every day and every minute. And there are folks who are being so stubborn at times. And what it means is that they've not learned how to compromise, even with themselves. Because sometimes the argument with people is within their own mind. Well, I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this, or Joe pissed me off and I ain't going to help him no more, or something, whatever it might be. We have to make adjustments for these because, going to work, you don't know if you're going to have a flat tire or not, but you should have a spare. Which reminds me, I need to check my spare. But, and you need to know how to change a tire. You need to make sure you got, a lug wrench to change that tire with, so, but are you going to have a flat tire every day? No. But some day's going to happen. You're going to be driving somewhere and you're going to have a flat tire. There are folks who drive for miles and miles and miles, never had a flat. Okay. But, there are those folks who are a little, I used to have flat tires all the time. So it's like, why me, Lord? Why are you picking on me? But to the point though, you never know when something's going to that's going to happen that you're going to have to adjust your schedule. So you have to find ways to compromise with your own self. And for myself, I have to compromise. Do I want to take these 10 medicines where I had not been taking anything? So I got to compromise. Do I want to still breathe? Do I want my blood pressure to be down? Do I want to be able to, my heart to be better? Hey, Chloe, how are you? Um, so my compromise is that, at the moment, I'm going to take these medicines because, they're keeping me alive. And so, do I want to take them? No. Do I want to have all this issue? No. There are other people that are going through issues. Like my brother is very ill, and his two sons are having to come in and pick up where they should have come in and picked up years ago. They've got a belly up to the bar as it is because he's got some severe issues and he quite possibly could die because of his condition. And they have to come to that realization. Um, my sister and I talked about it yesterday, or was it this morning? Anyway, within the last day. And the situation has been bad for a while, but his son's just kind of, well, dad's always been like that. Well, dad's gotten worse. And so you need to pick up the ball here. You need to go check on him. You need to go see how he's doing because, yeah, he's been crazy for a lot of years, but now he's moved into this different realm of crazy. Folks who are having to adjust their lives um, because of circumstances. Do they want to deal with this? No. But, it's not just my family, but there are other folks who are going through very similar types of things in life, and they've got to make adjustments, and and there are some compromises that you just say, I swore to God, I swore I would never agree to this. I swore I'd never go back to taking 10 medicines again. But I didn't know I was going to have a heart attack, neither. I didn't know I was going to have to wear a monitor. I didn't know I was going to have to do these other things because of my behavior, you know, before now. I didn't look to the future. Oh, I'll be okay. I'm a tough old son bitch, Well, I'm tough up to a point, and like yesterday, I was having trouble breathing, and I mean, I was having trouble breathing, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm having trouble breathing. I mean, the realization of I'm having trouble breathing here. Come on, heart. Come on, lungs. Come on. I mean, physically, going, holy crap, I'm having trouble breathing. You know, um, that's an adjustment we have to make, So, and it's a reality. And there are other people who are on oxygen and in worse condition than me. But to my point of my understanding, I'm like, holy crap, I'm having trouble breathing. I'm not getting whatever it is I'm supposed to be getting. So yeah, I have got a couple of cigarettes, and yeah, I've hit the pipe a time or two. But I was like, oh my God. But what reflected on for myself was I realized that I had had trouble breathing before I had the heart attack. So I wasn't aware of, I should have been aware of future things, I guess. So, those of you who've been around a little while, um, you've heard me talk about, well, I need to set it, I need to go to the doctor. I need to have, well, I'm scheduled for a CT scan. I'm scheduled for some other test. So I'm on the right track, I guess, of making sure that whatever might be wrong with me at this age, we can try to get it fixed. But see, I got to compromise. I got to compromise and take these medicines. I got to compromise and go to the doctor or go somewhere at some inconvenient time when I really don't want to. But at the same point, but if you want to get tested, you're going to have to get blood drawn. If you want to see what's wrong with your head, you got to go have a CT scan. If um, so you have to make the compromise. Otherwise, the alternative is that you just sit around and maybe death creeps up on you and takes you out. So, and thinking about, well, what about future events? Well, there are people who are making these types of decisions all the time, not just me. I didn't want to come on here and just talk about my condition, but there are big adjustments that I'm trying to make and trying to figure out for myself. And I think about all the other people who are on these types of medications, all these people that have heart problems. I got a neighbor down here who's about 5 or 6 years younger than me, whose heart condition is like twice as bad as mine. I mean, they had to take him in right away and do the rotor rooter thing on his arteries because he was, like 90% clogged or 95. He was, you know, and a younger man than me and having more issues than I am. I'm like, holy crap. So, um, knowing the amount of people that have heart conditions now, and now that I'm part of that group, it's just like, oh wow. So learning by watching other people how they have adjusted their lifestyles or whatever. But other people who have different types of jobs and working in work conditions. When I depending on the jobs that I had, you never knew when you went in on Monday morning what was going to be on your schedule of stuff you had to do. So you go, well, we've been working on this project now for the last 2 months. I'm going to go in and we're going to work on that project. And then you go into work and you come to find out that they've got a totally new project for you, and they're handing off what you've been working on to someone else because they want you to start this new project. Okay. So, what you thought you was going to do for that day or maybe the rest of the week has now been changed. So now what do you do? Or the boss man says, I don't want you working on this line. I want you over here working on this. Well, maybe you don't like working over there, but now you have to because you've got to make the adjustment. So, but do you compromise or do you stand your ground and go, well, I'm not doing that. That's not my job. Or will that get you fired? Or will that get you brownie points if you say, that's not my job. Hey, Michelle, how are you? That's not my job, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I want to work for the company. I want to help you out. I want to show you that I'm a team player. You see, so there are compromises in your job force, depending on what you're doing. Opportunities like, well, hell no, it ain't my job. You don't pay me to do it. You don't pay me enough to do that. Or you say, well, this ain't my job description, but I'm going to try to help out in this. So you make brownie points with management. Sometimes it does you good and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes brownie points don't mean nothing to anybody. But the idea is, though, are you willing to adjust whatever it is that's coming up? You working in a restaurant and somebody's dropped a pan and it needs to get mopped up. Well, you're working on the other side. You're a waiter or you're something else, and but you see that there's water on the floor, and the kitchen staff are in need. They're trying to get lunch done, and so do you compromise your situation and adjust? Well, it ain't my job, and you grab a mop and you help out. It's as simple as things like that. You you see that there's something that's needed and you act on it. It's like, well, it's not my job. Well, I'm a waiter and I'm not supposed to be bumping floors. No, but what you can't be a waiter if the kitchen staff is knee deep in water and they can't make lunch and you can't serve and you're not going to get tips because everything's late. And so what do? You step in and you grab a mop and you help out. So but there are instances like that in our future that we just absolutely cannot foresee. But we can absolutely compromise and not be so bullheaded about, well, it's not my job or it's not like this or blah, 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 when maybe it's in the best interest of folk in general to grab them up and help out. So in this world that's coming up with they're still talking about the crash. Okay. Now it's Rosh Hashanah. No, the crash is going to happen around Rosh Hashanah. Now, I've talked about this every freaking year now for several years. Every time September comes up and the Jewish holidays and Rosh Hashanah and this and the other thing, they've always got the end of the world is coming again. Remember a couple of years ago, there was a Jewish guy that was talking about all these things, and all of this was going to happen to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and all this. It didn't, none of it happen, right? And they tried it the next year, and it just, none of it happened. Well, they're already starting on Rosh Hashanah for the end of the crash, the stock market, everything's gonna Bitcoin is gonna be it's gonna be a shambles and we're all gonna die again. Okay. So I'm I can't do much else but sit back and watch these clowns but they're prognosticating stuff. And I'm wondering if these folks want this to happen. Now, there are some of these channels where I scratch my head and I go, why are you folks promoting death and dying and we're all going to die? You know, what's your reasoning behind what is your profit margin, if you will? Is it clickbait only that you keep saying we're all going to die over and over? I mean, every single day there's this one particular channel that, you know, it's about the financial stuff. And it's all warning, you know, this is going to happen and tomorrow that, you know, and they've been prophesizing that the market's going to crash and the feds and all of this is where and it ain't happened yet, but every day they keep coming up with the same kind of rhetoric that goes into their, this is happening, oh the stock, oh this is going to die and that's going to be, and this is the end of it all, and like okie dokie, you know, and some of it has happened. There have been companies that have lost out and whatever, and shares and stocks, and if you're into that kind of thing, okie doke. But for those of us who can't invest in any of that kind of stuff, or have no business trying to invest in that kind of stuff, simply because it's out of our realm of whatever, you know, just stick to the daily things. I had stocks years ago and, you know, sold them when they were high. And then the government caught up with me because I didn't claim it as part of an income. And I've actually, you know, paid more in fines than I actually made off selling the stocks because the IRS fined me. And anyway, so that was just messed up. But I know that there are folks who've invested money and are doing well with their dividends from stocks and so forth, and okie dokie. But the fact that these folks, for the last several years, have been preaching that the market's going to crash, it hasn't yet. Could it happen tomorrow? Absolutely. Could it happen in 3 weeks or in a, you know, Rosh Hashanah crash? Okie dokie, here we go, you know? But why in the name of the great goodness are they professing fear, you know? What is the deal with the fear factor, you know? And heart attacks and medicines and stuff, that's damn fearful. When you can't breathe and you're like wake up in the middle of the night fighting for a gulp of air, that's terror, okay? Somebody talking about, oh, Rosh Hashanah and we're going to have, and this is, that to me is not terror. So my definition of what is scary has changed. You know what I mean? Same old script of fear, provoking. Yep, absolutely. The vampires are hungry. Absolutely. And my question, I guess, just kind of out there is how many people are actually buying this shit right now? You know, how many folks are like, I watch the headlines to some of these channels, and I think to myself, they're doing it again. There they go again. There, look, there's the headline. Next week it comes up. There's a almost a duplicate headline, and it's some kind of, you know, financial crisis, and it's this and that, and if something had happened, not that I want a crash to happen, that's not my point, but you know, they've been wrong so many times. Are people not paying attention? You know, how are these people still have 1 million followers and are making all kinds of money off their YouTube channel? I mean, uh, uh, I would be like, this person has lied to me, you know, Joe says, even if the market or the dollar does crash, would it be more anticlimactic than it seems? Well, I would agree with you on that. Would people indeed freak out, or will people adapt as though it were no big deal? See, and that's my point. It's like we've adapted to the market all the way through 2 years of COVID. They're trying to bring that back up. They're trying to scare us with the monkeypox, but they're not saying that monkeypox is showing up with gay men mostly. But um, it's so weird. But they're trying to get us scared. So, how many people are looking at the news and being scared, or how many folks are looking at the news going, "They're at it again"? Now, I'm hoping, this is my prayer, I'm hoping that people are going, "They're at it again," versus, "Oh my God, dude, it's going to crash." Well, yeah, we've been talking about it now for years. It hadn't happened yet. I'm not saying it can or it won't. That's not my point. But to your point, Joe, just like what happened in the days of old, back when I was talking with my granny and stuff, and she goes, those of us that during the Great Depression, those of us, they lived on farms and stuff, the money wasn't a great big deal because they weren't invested in the stock exchange. They worked on farms and they still, had chickens and eggs and they still had their gardens. And so the money part of the deal back during the depression was that those people who were fairly self-sufficient anyway. But now, if a Great Depression happened now, folks are going to starve. There's going to be folks eating each other, I believe, because they're so crazy. But the fact that there isn't enough to go around is just silly. Out here in the country with some of these small stores, there's plenty of food for the amount of population that there is. Where will some things go in the store and the shelves will be cleared out? Yep. And the truck hasn't come? Yep. But you go in 2 days later when the truck gets there and the shelves filled again with your favorite cereal or whatever. But there are folks though that don't have gardens. They don't have ways to be self-sufficient, and if those shelves stay empty, then yeah, there's going to be a problem. But hopefully, folks are paying attention, and they've got some extra food at the house. I don't believe in buying all this, freeze dried stuff. I've spent money on it in the past, and mice got into the packages, and things happened, and you ended up with nothing. But a can of beans is still a can of beans after a couple of years, you know. But so, in adjusting to the future, I'm curious as to what kind of craziness they're going to try to ploy us with this fall. Okay. Is it going to be, you know, Thanksgiving turkeys? Is it going to be some kind of, you know, since we haven't died of famine over the summer like they said we were, and schools already started here in South Georgia, and schools are going back into session. We're coming up on Labor Day weekend, and there were supposed to be all these horrible things happen by now, and they haven't. So, have we adjusted to whatever was supposed to happen? Did we ignore it and it didn't happen? Did you know what I'm saying? So I think because a lot of us are going looking at things and just shaking our heads and going, nah, no, we'll see. Well, if we run out, well, I'll deal with it, you know, which ain't a bad philosophy. Well, if we run out of mustard, then we'll just go without mustard, you know, that'll just have to be that. Well, no ketchup for your hot dogs, sorry about that, kids, but, we'll have to put something else on them. But the idea that we're all going to die, and some of the things that I've noticed, there are frivolous items that I'm standing in line at the store and somebody wants this frivolous item, and somebody wants this, or the kids want this or that, or there's an argument with the little kids, I want one of these, mommy, kind of things. And you look at them and go, oh my God, when I was a kid, there were things at the checkout line and stuff like that, but some of the frivolous things that are there are like, what? I mean, there's a particular cereal, for example, that I bought because I wanted to taste it, right? And I can't even get nothing. The ants won't even eat it. The mice won't eat it. And it's this cereal with all different colors and stuff, and it's in the stores, and it's horrible. And I'm thinking, every time I go in the store, this particular style of a of cereal is like gone. It's like, they're, and I'm like, the ants won't even eat it. It's so bad. It's horrible. And I got a whole bag of it. I'm keeping it just because I'm hoping that something would break into it, that mice have chewed into other things in my kitchen. And you find little mouse droppings around in the corner, or something's been chewed into, and you damn mice. And and you look at this stuff, and I leave it on the counter, and they won't eat it. I mean, it's like, no, we don't touch. So, but here's the thing: is they're selling it, and human beings are eating this stuff. That's what is like, what, you know. So we've all got some adjusting to do. Why? Simply because stuff changes. And them folks who want to kill us all, them Agenda 2030 folks, they're still after it. But you got to admit, though, that there are folks who are standing up to it going, nope, ain't paying attention. Nope, ain't listening. Nope, I ain't going to go through there. That basically the no mask thing and CDC and everything about 6 foot and everything has been dropped, right? But in going to the doctor's offices, they're all still mandatory masking, even though the masks are down and they're breathing with their nose and this and that. There's nobody arguing about you're not wearing it the mask just right or whatever, but they do insist. So I think it's stupid. But if I want to go to the heart doctor, I'm going to compromise and wear the mask. Okay. Um, that's just all there is to it. If I want to be checked out or whatever, then if the requirement is that, buddy, you got to wear a mask to come in here, then I'm wearing the mask. And it ain't because of some other reason. And there are people in the doctor's offices who have got their mask down, but they're all playing the game. Okay. For whatever reason, everybody's going along with the game, but ain't nobody bitching at nobody because they're not playing the game correctly. This one's got their mask down. No, in the office, nobody says anything. One's got the one ear off and it's kind of dangling. Nobody's saying nothing. So, but they're all still playing the game. It's a silent game of fear. Well, what if I don't wear my mask here in the office today? What if I walk in and they go, sorry, sir, but you have to wear a mask in the office? Because the lady behind the counter has been instructed to tell anyone that comes in without one to put a mask on. Yeah. Okay, Isby. If it's the one out on 30th Street, Isby, that VA is in my old neighborhood. I wish you well. Hey, Steve, how are you? The thing about the mask in the doctor's offices and everything, I never wore a mask when I was in the hospital. I went in, they put one on me. When I got into my room, I took it off because they were all the time putting something on my face. I was doing a this or a that or something, but I didn't wear a mask. I was tested, and I was tested. I didn't have it. So if I don't have COVID, why should I wear the mask? If anybody comes around me, I don't have it. If you've got it, well, then that's my own risk, right? That's the one Isby on 30th Street. Okay. Yeah, that's my old neighborhood. Um, Much love to you, Michelle. Doing better now that it has cooled off. I'm glad, Steve. Honest to goodness. Um, it's been very cool down here considering this is the end of dog days and August. I mean, the temperature is like 88 degrees, 90 degrees, overcast. We've had rain off and on. We've got 60, 70% chance of rain the rest of this week, most of the week. It's just been a strange weather pattern, and a lot of the locals are saying, and other folks too, is that we're going to have an early winter, and it could be very tough. And I would agree with their leaves falling off the trees already. It's too soon. My grapes, they they ripened early. Just stuff that's just you know out of whack. But anyway, with the fear mongering stuff, I'm hoping that everybody is adjusting to this new paradigm in that, you know, I don't think people are as fearful. There are some little old ladies that come in that you can tell they're really scared. There's a black lady that was like, oh my God, a mask on and looked over at me and it was a mask and she was like terrified. And but there was an old white man who was terrified, of not having his mask on, and so it's not gender related, it's not race related. Um, but I gotta say that there are folks who are still just terrified that something's gonna get them. You know. Now in the stores and just out normal, the mask thing is almost gone. But within the medical profession and going into any office, it's still full mask on. So, but anyway, so that's going to keep people terrified in some way. But even the folks that are going in and out of the doctor's office, you can tell that they're doing it because they're supposed to. You know, some folks are walking outside and taking it right off. The other folks are going to their cars and getting in and driving home with their mask on. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, but they're still in that degree of fear. So I think we are adjusting as a society. I think it's so on the door, you know, but that basically, when I'm going home, I'm pulling this mask off, and connection is bad. What? Just as there are those that equate compromise to the game, Yeah, even as a submission to the bad guys. Yeah. What about COVID tests? Well, when I was in the emergency room in the hospital, that's part of the protocol that they test you. And they tested me twice. They said that they didn't have the results of the first one, so they did it again, and I still tested negative. So, all those folks who have had vaccinations who got sick, my family members who got sick, and, been really sick after they got the vaccination. I'm supposed to be, well, I've not had any of the above, and I've been around people who've had COVID. I've not had it. So, I'm just like, okay, I didn't get the flu this year. I didn't get the flu last year. I haven't had the flu in many years because I quit having flu shots. Now that's my own personal thing, but no, you're not giving me a flu shot. I will still say no to that. Um, oh, what was it? They've got a new vaccination out. What was it the other day or something? And I was like, what? Oh yeah, you might get this, so here's a vaccination. And it was for like a childhood disease or something. And I'm like, wait a minute, if you're 40 years old and you've not had this, but wait a minute, they really want to vaccinate us. They are really pushing vaccinations of all different kinds, shapes, and sizes. And I'm scratching my head going, what do I need a vaccination from that for? I mean, just say it. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, what? Oh, yeah, vaccinate now. What? Oh, yeah. Why? Because you might get it. Well, but a lot of us have had it, but we lived through it. I mean, we're still here. So, whooping cough, that's the one. That's the one. Thank you, Barry. How you doing? Oh, get whooping cough. Oh, and it's, you better get your shot for whooping cough now. Yeah, that's the one, Barry. Thank you. And I still looked at myself in the mirror and went, what? Oh, well, but there's a bunch of shit you can get that you could die from. You might not know it, but you might have a heart attack and kill your ass. You don't really know because you don't know what's actually going on. You think, you hope, you do, but yeah, it was whooping cough. And I thought to myself, what are they going to come up with next? Because you're supposed to get all these vaccinations before you go to school and you get all these shots and things and stuff. And now, oh my God, it's whooping cough. Oh, we're all going to die because of whooping cough. Oh, so that's another reason to wear a mask, right? Because you could cough and spread germs. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, but whatever they throw at us, we're going to have to adapt to it. That's my point. And at some point, we're going to have to compromise. Now, we can be eternal buttholes and argue and bitch and like I really want to complain about these 10 medicines I have to take every day. But at the same time, I don't want to die from a heart attack neither. So do I trust them? Do I take the meds? And they've been affecting me differently. Steve and I talked about it yesterday. And thank you, Steve, for having that conversation. But the compromise I have to make right now is I've got to take these meds. I got to trust these folks because they do seem to have my interest at heart. They're not trying to um, peddle pills, but the way to handle my condition is with medicine. So do I trust them? Do I not trust them? Do I tell them to go to hell and just stay home and then have another heart attack and it kills me? Um, or do I take these pills and hope for the best and learn how to deal with them? The medications. Um, so I'm going through that right now. Adapt and overcome. Yep. Whoop ass. Other than a shot for a lockjaw. Yeah, there you go, Steve. Well, I was doing really well for the last 7 years until I had this heart attack. So, I thought I was doing really well too. But as far as having other things wrong with me, but see, I didn't know that I was having problems with my kidneys. So I do have an appointment now with the kidney specialist, because I agree with my new physician now that, because I had troubles when I was in the hospital, that maybe I should have it checked out to make sure that my kidneys aren't shutting down. And if there's something I need to do personally, whatever I'm drinking, adjusting, um, we need to know these things, because I would like to hang around a few more years, and all of this stuff happening at one time. But the only way you can figure out what's wrong is to go get yourself checked out. Um, which for the last 7 years I haven't done, and it got me into this situation. I made my own bed. I got to lie in it. But here's the thing. So, well, you've had kidney issues, yeah. So do I go to the kidney specialist to get a checkup, or do I tell my physician, well, gee, that's nice, and I ignore it, or do I compromise and go, well, maybe I should go to the guy. Maybe I should go to the specialist because I'm almost 70 and I have mistreated my body, over the years. Maybe I should go in and yeah, maybe it is a good idea. As much as I don't like going to doctors and all this stuff, should I? So my compromise is, yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go, right, to be sure. Because I do want to be around a little longer. So, but there are folks who are making decisions on a daily basis about things that might not be affecting their bodily functions or their health per se, but in a stressful way. So they're not dealing with some of these fear factors that are going around out there, and other people who are scared of these things. And it's like, the news is almost like, well, if you're not scared of this, you should be. They're making us fearful of not being afraid. Well, you're not being afraid enough. Well, oh my God, there's alligators in Florida. Yeah. Oh my God, people's dogs are eaten every day by alligators in Florida. Yeah. That's been going on since people moved to Florida and started living in Florida. There are alligators there. So it's like, but for the folks who live around alligators, they go, yeah, so what, right? But then there are folks who go, oh my God, there's alligators. Oh my God. So they want to make us afraid of the alligators, you know, whatever they think the alligators are. A couple of months ago, I was about to go in for surgery. I had a choice: take the COVID test or cancel the appointment and live with my problem, which you still have. Hey, Travis, how are you? Well, somebody was asking me the other day, they heard me cough, and they were like, man, you got to give up cigarettes and you got to quit smoking weed. And I was like, look, I'm sitting here coughing. I ain't had a cigarette and I ain't smoked no weed. Now, but, but I'm coughing. Well, you got to give up. Well, I know, but I'm coughing and I ain't had a cigarette in hours and I ain't smoked nothing in hours. But I'm still coughing. Now, sometimes you sometimes you just cough. Now I've been doing this. the mask thing and the ventilator thingy, and I'm still coughing up this white junk. I don't know what it is. But it's been a month now that I've been doing these treatments, and I've slowed them down. But since I've slowed my treatments down, I've also had um, more issues of not feeling like I'm getting enough air in. So I've got to make adjustments, you see. So I got to do at least two of these a day. Otherwise, I'm not breathing right. So do I want to take the treatments? No, they make my face itch. They makes me want to cough up this white gunk. But if I don't take these treatments, I wake up in the middle of the night not being able to breathe. So what's my compromise? I better do a treatment because waking up in the middle of the night not being able to breathe is not a fun, you know, um, scenario. So it's like there are those compromises that you have to make immediately, and there are those that you can just kind of slough off and not pay any attention to. Like, yeah, well, but the fear factor. So the doctors don't have to put fear in me when I'm not being able to breathe. That's my own fear. I don't have, I'm not looking for somebody else. Well, Dave, did you take that pill? Did you take your medicine? Did you do this? Did you blah, blah, blah? I can't breathe. I'm having issues here. I better do a treatment because it does help me to breathe and to clear my lungs, my COPD or whatever. And Lord have mercy, I want to breathe. Breathing is one of them things that we're supposed to be able to do naturally and all that stuff, right? So that is a very quick adjustment on my part or on somebody else. I was talking with a neighbor that was here the other day, and we were talking about our conditions as old men. And he's got a puffer that he has to take. And he was, telling me about, because of the work that he does, that he can't leave it in the truck because it gets too hot in the truck and it won't work. And then when he needs the thing, so it's like, because breathing is one of them things we kind of take for granted. And then when you can't do it for whatever the reason is, you go, holy crap, you learn to compromise somehow. Well, I don't like this puffer, but if you can't breathe, you better take it, right? So in life, there are compromises and I used to be a stodgy old son of a bitch, okay? And in some ways, I probably still am because you're not going to give me a flu shot. I will take these medicines for my heart, but I still ain't taking a flu shot. And I'm not taking a whooping cough one. Hey, Diane, how are you? Your rooster crows early. Just throw a book at him and tell him to go to. I miss my rooster crowing early in the morning, but yeah. But with that said, I really want to smoke my pipe here and take a hit. But I pack a little here in my bowl, and it lasts me all day. Not that I'm into smoking a lot, but learning to smoke without filling up, the room, and I'm still getting my high, and by just smoking just little bits around the edges. So instead of taking that great big old hit off of that blunt, you take a little sip of it. and so I'm learning how to sip. But if I smoke my little bit of whatever's in that bowl, I cough up phlegm and some of that white stuff, and it actually helps me to breathe better because I'm wheezing all the time for whatever's in my lungs. And so um, I'd rather not smoke a cigarette to do it, but I can actually cough up some of this stuff that's in my lungs, and it feels I'm able to breathe easier. Yeah, Dave, you're just making excuses to smoke weed. No, but it is the truth. Compromise is a popular tool for bad people, ain't it? There are a lot of people who want you to compromise, and I agree with you, Travis. You make compromise all the time for other folks, and they don't compromise for you. But sometimes it's easier to compromise than to just have a feud start or something, big arguments. My filter must be dirty. Nope. That's how little I'm smoking. That's just it. I'm taking little sips. But there seem to be some crazy things that are in our future, and for myself is to like, how do I adjust my 10 pills and monitors and all this for future events, right? And what's this got to do for me, and how am I gonna cut firewood when I don't have the same strength I did 2 months ago, and damn it, this getting old. And now, how am I gonna? What am I gonna? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. That's what I do know. I'm confident I'm gonna figure it out. Right now, I just got to get back into the swing of things, and. So, but for other folks, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You just don't. You can see that something's going to be a problem, or you got to pay taxes. It's coming up. It's the end of the year. I got to pay my tags for my vehicles coming up here in September. I've got enough money saved this year that that's not going to be an issue. But in the past, it was an issue. So um, I have taken my future events, like, it's the extra cost of tags or taxes or whatever, to now it's in my budget, right? Where before I was like, how am I going to pay for this? Well, because you take out $10 here and you take out $20 there, and you sit on it. And then when you need it, it's there to pay the taxes or to buy your tags with, or to um, pay for my insurance. So instead of paying it by the month, I paid it every 6 months, which saves me. And it's so $50 here, and well, that's a hundred and something dollars in a year that I saved simply by paying the $200 for my insurance versus paying it in installments, and they charge extra for the installments, and but I end up paying $70 more a year, so that's $140 every. I mean, that's $70 every 6 months, so that's $140 a year I've saved by paying it all at once, right? So that's extra money. Well, 140 bucks a year saved. That's a, a fourth of my property tax. So some things were very convenient, but then in looking at the convenience was costing me money. So in looking at the bigger picture of things, I'm like, I saved money that way. I saved money over here. I saved money doing this, and whew, you know, but The convenience, well, it's only $35 a month. Yeah, or whatever it is. But if I paid it all at once, it's only 22.50 a month or something. It's actually cheaper, right? So you go for the convenience, and people are learning about this convenience thing. Well, it's convenient to have this, but is it costing you more in the long run? So that's what I've been, kind of shucking and jiving with on some of this, is that is the convenience really convenient? Because they're making money off of it. Somebody's getting something out of this deal. Like I haven't figured out why, and I got friends of mine that are my age who can't put that damn phone down because they're playing this stupid game. It's this app about something, and oh, isn't it a fun game? And I'm like, I want to know why they give away these apps so that everybody can play these free games. What are you getting out of the game? You're playing it, yeah, but you're taking up your time. They're taking up your energy. They're taking up your phone bill. They're taking up your data space. Why are they want you to play this game for free? Free download. Play this game. Shouldn't you be like scratching your head like, why do they want me to focus on this silly little game on my cell phone? Who has it benefited? Why they went to all this trouble? They've got commercials that they're paying big bucks for to give you a free download app. Should you not be like scratching your head wondering what's up with that? Seriously? Well, it's a free app. Yeah. They're advertising it on TV. Advertisement costs money. How are they doing this for free? Spending all. Why are nobody's asked? I'm asking. And nobody, well, I don't know. It's just a harmless little game. Really? Then how come you can't put it down? They're getting something out of you from that free download. No, they're not. Are you sure? Well, it's a free download. Yeah, I know. Then why are they promoting that they want you to play it? Pay attention. Well, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I know. Are you really tuned into this? Are you really paying attention? No, because all you want to do is play the damn thing. All you're interested in is downloading it. It's free. It's, oh my God, it's a new app. It's a new thing. It's free. Download it. We're all going to play it together. Yeah, but millions of dollars went into the commercials, and you're not asking why or who is sponsoring this, and you're playing it. Do you understand what the ramification? What is this game build? What is it doing? Are you paying attention? No, you're just playing the game. Ooh, that's got spit up stuff. Cough it up. But anyway, so future events. Um, I'm curious what all these free games and free apps and everything are going to end up in the long run. Well, it's not having any effect on us. Really? If you can't get this Jumex, this is peach nectar. They have a strawberry banana. Oh, yum, yum. But so for this 1 quart of liquid peach nectar is $1. It's $1. And so it's good drink. Um, since I caffeinated stuff because of my heart condition thingy. Um, but I used to drink those all the time, and I'm back onto them, and they really taste good. So there are alternatives. That's my adjustment. Well, I've been drinking sodas. Well, now I'm drinking juices, and other things. And so sometimes the adjustments ain't too bad. You know, I used to drink them all the time, and then I got away from it, and blah blah blah. And so sometimes, but the compromise with some of these apps and some of these games that I've watched people get stuck on, I'm like, now I like solitaire, playing solitaire, mahjong. Okay, I had a mahjong program that I used to play, and it was a mind to see how quickly I could match the tiles. But these games of farming and this and stuff and all this, I honestly, these people, but it's fun to play. And I'm like, are you that freaking simple minded that this is like enthralling to you? Oh, but this game is, you're building a farm, and yeah, oh, and I sold two goats and something else, and if I didn't do this and something wiped out my crop. Okay, I played that years ago on Facebook, and farming this and that, and I was like, it was just so stupid. And but there were people who were like, oh, my farm, I have to keep my farm going, and I got to keep doing this, and I got to keep, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But you got to wonder why they're promoting stuff for free when it wasn't free for them to promote it. You got to ask the question, is there something in that little program? It's got to be. Do you know what it is? No, I don't want to find out. I don't want to play the damn game. It's stupid. I find it just a complete waste of time. But there are these folks that just are focused on these games, and I'm wondering what it's tying them into the matrix for. Yeah, it's a convenient to lose more money. There you go. Steve says, I only have two games, dominoes and mahjong. Yeah, dominoes. I like playing that. I love playing solitaire, just the old style, like get a deck of cards. But on the computer, I played solitaire too, and mahjong. I love playing mahjong, and there were some other card games that I like to play. But I used to play solitaire before there were computers, So the idea of solitaire on the computer just means I don't have to deal with the cards. That's all. But these other games of building this and doing that. Um, I see playing solitaire as trying to beat the odds of being able to place the cards and see them and put them. And, mahjong, it was always how quick can I play the game? And can I get all the tiles, or do I, leave tiles on the board? But some of these other games have no purpose to me. I don't understand what they're doing. And, the idea that people are like finding time through the day, Steve, in the evening to sit down and play dominoes or mahjong or something like that. It is relaxing. But for folks to like all through the day stealing time to play these things, my question though basically goes back to they're spending money to promote them for a free download. And we should know in this world that nothing is free. So if they're giving you a free download of something, shouldn't you be suspicious a little bit? I mean, ain't a con man? Here, I'm gonna give you this for free. You know, wink, wink, nod, nod. So, but anyway, in future, I don't know. I think something's gonna come out about that. I've got a strange feeling. Ain't nobody said nothing. It just this is my own prognostication. Somebody's gonna get caught saying, did you know that this free game is actually doing something to the brain? Or something's going to come out about the free game thing. And that, somebody's going to go, have you not wondered why, you know, um, they're marketing these things and trying to get you to play these, you know, I think something's going to come out about it. We'll see. Well, look, my dear friends, I'm not going to be up all night tonight. I wanted to come on here and talk about this, about our adjusting our futures. There's going to be some crazy stuff, and they're going to try to sell us, you know, I don't know, a new monkeypox, a new COVID, a new something. They got to try to keep us in that fear, and we just got to just say, nah. Now, um, for me, not being able to breathe or having a shortness of breath or having my heart flutter now that I've learned about my heart attack, that is something to worry about. And but at the same time, I'm not trying to worry about it. I'm trying to adapt to the new situation. So whatever the new situations are, like if I got stressed out about my condition, which could easily happen, then that can compound my situation and make it worse. So my pulse can race and I can get all upset and I can be stressful. So my heart attack situation, I'm trying to explain in that they're trying to give us the public a heart attack every flipping day. And we've got to look at what they're trying to purvey to us and say, wait a minute. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to read this or watch this or pay attention to it. And, but I should question certain things that are free. And what is their motive behind this? Because we know these folks that with Agenda 2030, we know they still have an agenda. So free games on your cell phone, what is that doing to the population? It's mind control. It's taking your mind off of whatever it is that you could be or maybe should be focusing on. So are they having an effect with freebies? Absolutely. Please pay attention. An hour in the evening to relax, okie doke. But if you're playing games through the day because you're bored or whatever and stuff, then find something else to flip and do. Write a story, find something, read a book. But to anyway, that's my 10 cents on that. So I played a variety of games. Xbox. There's a feature for free games. Microtransactions games may be free, but yeah. My whole point is that we don't know what the little electrons are doing to the eyeballs and to the brain. And I am very skeptical about anybody that gives you a free something. Hey Susie, how are you? Love you too. Yeah. I'm fixing to shut it off. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes, and I was on with Robert for almost 2 hours. And it's been good hanging out with y'all. But I need to take my bedtime medicine, and I need to finish my one of my treatments so I can keep breathing. I love you all. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Because every single day, me and Duggar, we both continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. And each time we go outside and chase the kittens around, we continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relations will learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many, many, many gifts from the universe. And in that law of three, that is very important to me, I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and those many blessings in the universe. Diane, see you soon. Michelle, as always, thank you. Susie Q and Joe, it's good hanging around with y'all. And I'm going to stay as healthy as possible because I want to hang out with y'all in the future. I still want to go kayaking and I still want to do some stuff. So there are still lessons to be learned. And I want to learn them with y'all and share them. So, keep up the good work, my friends. And for goodness sakes, don't give up. I was looking at all these medicines and stuff and realizing I got some changing I got to do here in my life after all these years. How much do I want to pay attention, or is this something that, I want to just, nah, we need to compromise, you know? And sometimes it's good to compromise, regardless of what the other side feels and whether or not they appreciate us. Who was it that said something about it earlier? Sometimes it's a gift of God that we are the ones that will compromise, and other people will go, well, see, you should have seen it my way anyway. Well, wait a minute, I'm compromising here. Well, yeah, but oh, but you're giving in to them, maybe. But the compromise, remember, it isn't about ego, you know. We're here to be awesome. I think the fact that you're here is awesome. So, cheers to that, my friends. And keep up the faith and remember to believe, 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 believe. And don't give up. Now we have to, I say that with a caveat because I've seen some folks that they've got some dreams that I just look at them and go, you guys got to come down to earth here. That I don't think that dream is fathomable under your circumstances and who you are, and maybe you should like bring that dream down, and I don't know. Some folks have just their dreams are pie in the sky, and I wish them luck. I do, but you know something from nothing leaves nothing, So y'all be safe. I love you. And uh, Tuesday night with Robert, we'll be doing the storytelling thing and the Native American stuff. And one of these days soon, again, I'll do another night of card reading. So y'all take care and be good to one another. Thank you all for being my friends and subscribers and hanging out, folks. And y'all are members of the League of Like Minded Beings. So cheers and be safe. Okay. Until next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now, and ween. Keep it between the dishes, my friends. Good night.